Hey, one factory into this morning's video. It's Monday at GavsWeathers.com, which means only one thing. It's your update every Monday at GavsWeathers. We have a look at the weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. It's going to be a colder week across many parts of Europe this week. Trough of low pressure, cold trough of low pressure, digging through Central Europe in particular, so going to be snow around in many places, also cold temperatures, barely above freezing for much of the continent. We're not talking about a severe freeze-up, I don't think, but certainly colder it has been throughout most of this winter during the coming week. And then it's going to turn a bit drier and a little bit milder, probably by the weekend, out in the north and the west. Before we get on with the European outlook, let's just say about the ads. There's links to articles, most pages at GavsWeathers.com, have a browser widgets, anything that you're interested in, click through. So here we go for today's atmospheric pressure charts, and the main thing is the ridge of high pressure through the Central Atlantic going up just to the south of Greenwich. It's not a proper high latitude blocking feature this, but it's quite a nice ridge, and it's allowing this cold air to push southwards through into much of Europe actually. Got the northerly winds coming down through UK and the United Kingdom, may extend in towards France, and they've got the trough of low pressure, the main trough, actually across Scandinavia, digging down in towards the north of Germany and the north of Poland, and that's bringing the cold air down to many parts of Europe as well. The warmth is really in the far east and southeast of Europe, and that's going to be the case throughout most of this week. So the upper air temperature give the game away, but warmth is there in the southeast and going unusually far north, up toward the Black Sea, for instance, as we go through today. But most parts of Europe are cold, not severely cold, but certainly quite cold air digging down through most parts of Europe with that trough of low pressure. The dew points, which are really reflecting the temperatures on the surface, show again it's cold for most parts of Europe, but warmth is in the southeast Europe and going up this far eastern side. But most parts of Europe are cold, below freezing with the dew points today. So the precipitation shows that we have got quite a bit of precipitation around Europe today, and much of it is going to be falling as snow in central and northern areas. They've got the risk of some snow through Germany, particularly heavy over the Alps, and it extends up into towards some parts of the Low Countries into the North Sea as well. Snow across Scandinavia, some of that could be quite heavy. Heavy rain and thunderstorms down across Spain and Portugal, of course, giving snow over the Pyrenees. And they've got some showers, very light showers really through the central bowl of Mediterranean, but they get heavier as we come over the Adriatic down far southeast of Europe, and particularly around Greece. There could be some heavy showers and thunderstorms there. Temperatures today show that we're going to be struggling to get above freezing across most parts of Europe. So it's not severely cold by any means, not by European standards at this time of year. We could be seeing maximum temperatures of around -8, -9, -10 in a really cold spell. So, excuse me. Yes, it's not as cold as it could be, but it's colder. It's been throughout most of this winter so far. So temperatures are struggling to get above freezing there, particularly through Germany into Poland, and then going northwards into Scandinavia. We're around freezing as well. We're around just a little bit above or around freezing for northern parts of the British Isles, a little bit milder down in the far south and southwest. East parts of France as well, very cold really, just 1, 2, 3 degrees at best. In the east of France it's a little bit milder out in the west of France. But Mediterranean, as always, is the mildest. Going through to the middle part of the week, and the high pressure is there out to the west of the British Isles, but most parts of Europe still cold with these northerly winds digging through. Low pressure getting going through the central bowl of the Mediterranean over towards Corsica, Sardinia and Italy. We'll have a look at the detail on that in a moment, see what that's giving in terms of rainfall. But yeah, it's a cold trough in there across most parts of Europe with a ridge out to the northwest. So cold air is digging down from Scandinavia, even colder air coming down in towards Germany, Belgium, Holland, going proper cold. The upper air temperature going down to -10, 850 HPA. Notice the warmth though coming into the southeast of Europe, still pumping that out of Mediterranean, North Africa, and going up in towards some far eastern parts of Europe. So basically it's the north, west and central parts of Europe that are cold, the south and the southeast getting away with milder temperatures. Turning really cold with those dew points across Scandinavia through the middle part of the week, bitterly cold there. Most parts of Europe will be cold through the middle part of the week, it's warmer in the southeast. So there's those heavy showers and thunderstorms there around Corsica, Sardinia, also perhaps affecting the Balearic Islands, so Ibiza, Mallorca, heavy showers and thunderstorms midweek, and they'll push on towards Italy with time. Much of this over southern Germany and over in towards the southeast of Europe will be falling as snow until getting to the far southeast. And then we're likely to be looking at sort of rain down across Greece, and possibly some southern parts of the Balkans even could get a little bit of rain around the middle part of the week. But further north, particularly through southern parts of Germany, that is mainly going to be snow. Snow over the Pyrenees, rain across northern Spain, and then lots of dry weather really through northern and northwestern parts. There are snow showers around, snow flurries, but it'll be drier there through the middle part of the week. A few snow showers coming onto the eastern side of the UK. So it's very cold by middle of week through eastern France. Temperatures are just to -2, -3 degrees. That extends in towards Germany as well. Bitterly cold for Germany with maximum temperatures around -4, -5 perhaps for parts of Germany, and on into Poland as well. Quite cold out in the northwest for Ireland, UK. Also quite cold in eastern parts of Spain. Interesting, that cold air is digging in even into the east of Spain. The warmth is in the east and the southeast of Mediterranean, going into the far southeast of Europe. The end of the week on Friday, very similar situation. The high pressure is ridging through though a little bit more from the Atlantic in towards those northwestern parts of Europe. Low pressure trying to come in towards the far north of Norway. That could bring some snow for them. And then we've still got this cold trough here across southern parts of Europe. And that's starting to try and infiltrate the cold air in towards the southeast of Europe as well. But it's the warmth in terms of the upper air temperatures is still hanging on in the far east and southeast. But generally that cold air is trying to move southwards with those upper air temperatures turning a little bit less cold out in the northwest. Dew points show that it's freezing cold across many parts of Europe on the surface anyway. By the end of the week, that extends through many central parts of Europe, turning a little bit less cold out in the northwest, and the real mild weather is in the far southeast. So heavy snow through central parts of Europe is pushing down towards the southeast. This will be a mix of rain and snow. So northern parts of this are having snow as that cold air is digging in, but down to the southeast, southern parts will be having heavy rain and thunderstorms. Otherwise, lots of dry weather actually at the end of the week, just bitterly cold. The temperatures show that it is very cold. The cold sub-zero temperatures extend down from the northeast of Europe into Poland, into Germany, into much of France, and going down into Spain as well. Temperatures in many places are going to be below freezing all day in these areas, with severe frost at night. Mainly dry conditions, of course. But when we come down to the southeast, it's milder. We've got heavy rain and snow mixed into the southeast of Europe. It's turning a little bit less cold for Ireland and the United Kingdom as the wind just starts to back in from the Atlantic a little bit more. Remember, high pressure is building in to the northwest of Europe, so it's centred right over top of the UK and Ireland as you get through to next weekend. The cold air is digging down on the eastern side of that high pressure, so that will be digging the cold air further southeast into the southeast of Europe. The warmth that we've got through much of this week in the southeast of Europe is going to give way, I think, to a very cold spell once we get through to next weekend into second week of February. But conversely, under this high pressure, of course, is turning a little bit milder in the north and the west of Europe. So the upper air temperature showed this quite nicely, but west of Europe is turning milder with that with wind reverting more towards a westerly, but cold air, very cold air, digging into many eastern parts of Europe, and that is pushing into the southeast of Europe as well by next weekend. Dew points freezing cold across virtually all parts of Europe, actually. That's quite unusual. It's even turning colder across far southeast. Even Greece is turning colder, but a very cold scene there by next weekend across many parts of Europe. It will be freezing cold in most places. So it's mostly dry out in the west with that area of high pressure building in. Some heavy snow coming in towards Norway and the north of Sweden, but otherwise lots of dry weather in the west. In the east, we've got snow showers pushing through the east on those northerly winds, and heavy rain showers or thunderstorms in the southeast of Europe, probably turning more wintry with time. So yeah, it's freezing cold by next weekend across most parts of Europe. Temperatures sub-zero from the far northeast and over Scandinavia through most central parts of Europe and going down into the east of Spain. Temperatures will be hovering around freezing all day. For the west of France, United Kingdom and Ireland, it's a little bit milder. Temperatures around 4 or 5 degrees. And look at that, it is turning colder even into the southeast of Europe. So you guys down in the Balkans, parts of Romania, for instance, it's going to be mild through most of this week. It will be turning a lot colder, I think, by next weekend and into the second week of February. So that's how it's looking for this week. It's going to be a colder week. It's the coldest week that we've had so far this winter. It's going to get colder through the week, if anything. So a bit of a freeze, perhaps, in some eastern parts, central east parts, southeast parts of Europe by next weekend. And increasing amounts of snow coming through as well. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.